and welcome to day 13 of the Crochet Society Advent Crochet Along. Today we are going to be continuing to add to our work. We're going to be using colour 13, which is this one here, and also colour 12 from yesterday. We'll be using our 4mm hook, but we will also be using a 3mm hook as well. Now, if you changed your hook size to suit your tension from the very beginning, then all you would need to do is go down one hook size from whichever one you started with. So for example, if you started with a 3.5mm hook, you would go down to a 2.5mm hook. So let's get started with row 1. We're going to be using colour 13 and a 4mm crochet hook, so go ahead, grab those and meet me when you're ready. Okay, so for row 1 we're going to have our right side facing us. We're going to create a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to start off with a standing double crochet into that very first stitch. So we want to locate that first stitch. Hopefully you would have marked yours with a stitch marker, and then yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook, and that is your standing double crochet. Remember, I'm talking in UK terms, so in the US this is known as a single crochet or a standing single crochet. For this row we're going to do a back loop double crochet, so rather than working into the full stitch we work into the back loop only. We'll work a back loop double crochet into each stitch all the way across until you have 1 stitch remaining. So go ahead, work those stitches. You will have 171 stitches in total, so you'll work 170 and then meet me back for that final stitch. Okay, so once you've worked your way across, you're then going to do a double crochet into the full stitch for your last stitch here. And we're going to go ahead and fasten off our yarn. And then we're going to take colour 12 from yesterday, and we're going to join that into the first stitch with the right side facing us again with a standing double crochet. So we'll find our first stitch of this row, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, and then yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook. So for row 2, after that standing double crochet, we then have a pattern repeat. We're going to do 2 back loop double crochets, 1 and 2. We're then going to do a front loop treble 2 down and a back loop double crochet twice. So we'll find that next stitch and do that front loop treble 2 down, miss that stitch that we've just worked over, and then do a back loop double crochet into the next stitch. It's telling us to do it twice, so we'll do that again. That's the front loop treble 2 down and then the back loop double crochet, and then we'll start that pattern repeat again. So 2 back loop double crochets, front loop treble 2 down and a back loop double crochet twice, so 1, 2 and repeat. You'll do that all the way across until you have 2 stitches remaining. So go ahead, pause the video, work those stitches and then meet me back at the end of this row. Okay, so this is what your row is looking like. We now have 2 stitches remaining, and what we're going to do here is do a back loop double crochet followed by a double crochet, so full double crochet into that last stitch. Then go ahead and fasten off, and then for row 3 you're going to join colour 13, so the other colour, with a standing double crochet into that very first stitch. So go ahead, get prepared and then meet me back in a moment. Okay, so once you've joined colour 13 with a standing double crochet, we're ready to do the pattern repeat for row 3. So that pattern repeat will start here, and we're going to start off with 3 back loop double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, followed by 1 front loop treble 2 down. So we'll find that next stitch and then find that front loop, so it's just here in between those 2 trebles that we did on the last row, and then we'll do 2 back loop double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we'll repeat that again. So I'll just show you that repeat again. 3 back loop double crochets, 1, 2, 3, a front loop treble 2 down, and then 2 double crochets in the back loop only. So that is what it will be looking like. So go ahead, work that all the way across until you have 2 stitches remaining, and then meet me back once you're ready. Okay, at the end of this row, when you have your last two stitches remaining, you're going to do a back loop double crochet and then a double crochet into that last stitch, but we are not going to fasten off at this point. We're actually going to turn our work, and then at this point we're going to change to our 3mm crochet hook, or whichever hook you are using. So we're now working on the wrong side of the work for row 4, and we are going to begin by chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this does count as a treble crochet. We're going to do 2 trebles into the next stitch. So this is the treble and that's the base of the treble. This is the next stitch. Remember, a treble is a double crochet in US terms. So we're going to yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through, you'll have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you'll have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. We're doing 2 trebles into that stitch, so we'll yarn over again and go into that same stitch and complete our treble. We're then going to start a pattern repeat. So this, if you're rewinding the video, is where you'll come back to. We're going to miss 2 stitches, 1 and 2. And then we're going to do 3 trebles into the next stitch. So into that stitch where we've just missed 2 stitches, 1, 2 and 3. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way across. So miss 2 stitches and 3 trebles, 1, 2 and 3. You'll work that all the way across until you have 4 stitches remaining. So go ahead, pause the video and then meet me back once you're ready. Okay, so once you've worked your way across and you have your 4 stitches remaining, we're going to miss the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and do 2 trebles into the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 treble into that final stitch, and then we're going to turn our work. So this is row 5 and we have the right side facing us now. We're going to chain 1 and that does not count as a stitch, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into that very first stitch. So we're going to start that pattern repeat after we've missed this stitch, and we're going to begin by doing 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to chain 2, miss a stitch and then repeat from the 5 double crochets. So we'll miss that stitch and then do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 2, 1, 2, miss a stitch and start again. So you're going to do that all the way across until you have 1 stitch remaining. So go ahead, pause the video, work those stitches and then meet me back once you're ready. Okay, so at the end of this row, you will look like you have two stitches remaining, but don't forget we've chained 2 and we've missed this stitch, so this one is out of the equation. So we have the final stitch, which is the chain from the beginning of the last row. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 1 double crochet into the top of that chain, and then we're going to turn our work. So for row 6, we have the wrong side facing us. We're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. We're going to do a double crochet into that very first stitch. We're going to chain 2, miss the chain space, and then do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That first double crochet is the start of the pattern repeat. So we've got 5 double crochets, chain 2, miss the chain 2 space, and you repeat that all the way across. 5 double crochets, chain 2, miss the chain 2 space. So we're working into the tops of the double crochets that we did from the last row. So work your way across until you have 1 stitch remaining, and then meet me back once you're ready. Okay, so once you've come to the end of your pattern repeat, we've done the chain 2 and skipped that chain space. We're then going to do a double crochet into the last stitch and turn our work. Now this is actually the end of day 13. However, we are not going to fasten off here. We're going to insert a stitch marker just to keep that loop, and we're going to pick up from the same spot for day 14. So there we have day 13 of the Crochet Society Advent Crochet Along. Please make sure that you tag myself, Crochet Society and Rosina, because we would absolutely love to see your progress pictures. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.